This is going to be the one method that will guarantee you a huge pet every 24 hours. No way! No way! Oh my gosh. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is Maj and Nick here, and for today, I'm going to be talking about how you, a free-to-play player, can get a huge pet every single day without spending any money on the game. A lot of you are probably not going to believe me when I say this, but it actually is possible for you to achieve this goal. I will explain to you guys how you are able to do this, because it definitely is possible, and I want to share this information with you guys in case you didn't know already. I'm going to go over all the free-to-play methods that there are for getting free huge pets, but all these methods that I'm about to talk about will not guarantee you a huge pet, but the last method that I'm going to be speaking about is a guaranteed way for getting huges if you're free to play. So for the first method, this is definitely not a reliable one, but is hatching active huges. So this has been in the game probably since Pet Simulator X. I never played that game, but I'm assuming that it was in that too, and it's been around since this game first came out. Now, if you're a free-to-play player, you're gonna know that hatching an active huge is not easy at all, but it is possible. I have hatched active huges on my alt accounts before that are completely free to play. While it is an option and you can go for it, I don't really recommend doing this just because it's such a low chance of you actually getting one that I don't really think it's worth spending your time on this anyways. So now getting into a more reliable method, and it's actually a brand new one, is going to be these prison cells. So I'm sure everybody knows about this prison cat, and you could get it from opening up these prison cells, and there are a lot of these being farmed every day. Like thousands are being brought into the game every single day, and I doubt I would get one from opening up these chests in the video, but you have a pretty good chance of getting them, and all you have to do is just farm the final area, and you get keys from doing so, and then you just use those keys and open up the jail cells like how I'm doing now, and you just keep repeating this process until you eventually get a huge pet. In my video of opening up about 500 of these keys, I had gotten one of them, but I think since then the chances have been nerfed a little bit, but you can still definitely get one, and thousands of people are getting one every day. So that's just one method I had to mention to you guys because it is a very good one, and I don't know if they're going to keep this in the game forever. This seems like a permanent thing, and if so, that's actually pretty cool. So this will always be a good method for getting huges, especially for free-to-play players who don't actually have a good setup for farming or hatching. So getting into the next method that I don't think is as good as the prison cat, but it's still pretty decent, and that is the huge police cat. So you can get this from one of two ways, or I guess one of three actually, but one of them doesn't count because it's not free to play. You can get it from the Cops vs. Robbers pack, but this is going to be gone eventually, and again, it's not free to play, so I'm just going to ignore this. But one of the ways you can obtain this huge is by going into the vault, and once you're in the vault, you can pick one of three methods. So you can go to the garage vault, the bank vault, or the office vault, and you can see that they range in rarity based off of the sign. So the office vault gives decent loot, while the bank vault gives insane loot. So if you want to get the highest chance possible for getting this police cat, then you're going to want to do the insane loot in the bank vault, and this huge is kind of hard to get, so I wouldn't really put this as a top priority method. It's only 10 minutes, as you can see at the top of my screen. It's timed, and I'm now under 9 minutes, so you're only investing just a little bit of time to do this, so might as well go for it if you're actively playing. But I wouldn't count on this for getting huges because you're probably going to be pretty disappointed, but you might get lucky. Now coming over to the void spawn, the next two ways you can get a free-to-play huge are from the void chest and the void spinny wheel, and oh, the huge is actually on here. Imagine I got it for this video. No, okay. These two things give you a chance for a free huge. The spinny wheel one, which you just saw, it was the huge atomic axolotl, I think it is, and then the void chest gives you access to the huge holographic cat, and there's already over 7,000 that exist, so these are not extremely rare to get, and all you have to do is just like you do with most other items, farm the last area and try to get these void keys. And then for the wheel, you're just going to want to go for these void spinny wheel tickets, and this goes for any of the chests in the game or any of the spinny wheels in the game, like in World 1 and World 2. So when you're farming up the last area, you're getting access to all of these keys, like the tech keys or the crystal keys, and you can go ahead and use these on the chests in the different worlds and try to get lucky with getting the huges, or you can save them for the last method that I'm going to talk about, but more on this later. So that's an okay method of getting huges. Similar to the prison cat, I would say it's not really a top priority because there are better ways that I'm going to talk about soon. But another method for getting huges is actually by using these secret keys. And secret keys, if I am am not wrong, they have a chance of giving the huge colorful wisp. Actually, let me check that out. I'm gonna go to World 1. Okay, I'm in World 1, but it actually doesn't say what huge it drops. So I think it's the huge colorful wisp. If I'm wrong, then feel free to correct me in the comments. But you basically just use the keys, come into this little mini game, which I think is the best area for using these keys because you can pick between 3 items. So I think that gives you the highest chance of getting something good. And this is in Area 15, the Enchanted Forest. Or you can hold on to these keys, just like how you can hold on to all the other keys and use them for a different method. And it's actually good that we're in World 1 right now because the classic obby or any mini game in World 1 will give you a chance of getting the huge colorful wisp. Now I know this for sure because right here you can see it says it on the possible loot, and you could also get it in a golden variation and a rainbow. And they're actually worth a pretty good amount. Even just the regular one is worth 88.3 million. And all you have to do is just go through the obby. And this is also a good time to mention the rebirth chests. So there's rebirth chests in many mini games, and these also give you a chance for the huge colorful wisp. So now you have 2 opportunities in one mini game to get a free huge pet. It's gonna be a very low chance, I'm just letting you guys know, but it is still a method that you can try out. And it has been successful for plenty of people. Almost 9,000 of those pets exist, so it's not impossible, but it is unlikely. And another example of a good mini game for getting a free huge is something like the Lucky Blocks area, where you have a chance of getting the huge Chroma Lucky. Now there's over 26,000 of these, almost 27,000 that exist. And all you have to do is just come into the area and break all these Lucky Blocks. And it's actually a lot easier now because you can actually use your hoverboard, and these Lucky Blocks are not hard to break. So you don't even need like a crazy good setup like how mine is. You could probably be pretty successful with just stat pets and some exclusive pets. And you know what? Let me test it out for you guys. All right, so I have some stat pets on and a few exclusives, and yeah, they break it so easily. This is the setup I'm working with. It's literally just stat pets, not even the best ones, and some like okay exclusives. And I only have 27 pet equips. And look how fast they break through these Lucky Blocks. Like, come on, you really don't need anything special to be able to do this. And similar to the Lucky Block area that I just showed you guys, we have the Treasure Hideout in World 2. So this gives you the chance for the huge Electric Cat, and all you have to do is just unlock this area with a treasure key, and then just farm this area for literally 30 minutes, and that's it. And if you want to increase your chances even more of getting the huge, you can use Nightmare Fuel. If you guys didn't know, Nightmare Fuel is dropped by this Nightmare Ultimate. It's a small chance of dropping every time you use the ultimate, but you don't need the ultimate to get this. You can buy it from other people in the trading plaza, and I don't even think they cost that much anymore. They're probably around like 500,000 if I remember correctly. And there's other methods in World 2 that you can utilize, like the claw machine or the chest raid. I mean, it's a pretty low chance for you to get this huge pet, but it's still a method you can go for. So at the time of editing this, the new update just dropped, and we now have a new free-to-play huge pet that you can obtain, and that is the huge pineapple cat. So I had made a video about this yesterday on how to get this pet, so you can go ahead and watch that video, and it's just a quick tutorial on how you can get it. And we also have this new seashell machine, which gives you summer gifts. If you don't want to open the gifts, you can sell these for diamonds in the trading plaza, or try and sell the seashells that you get from farming the last area, and you can use that money to go ahead and buy huge pets with it. And they sell for a good amount right now. I have 2 of the summer gifts, and they're selling for 2.85 million each, and the seashells are selling for over 27,000 each right now. So honestly, it's way more worth it to sell the seashells if you can, because they're worth a lot more than actually crafting them into the gifts. And I forgot to mention the daycare. You have a chance of getting the huge amiibo in a spaceship, and this is a super low chance. I doubt any of you will actually get it from this, but it is something that I forgot to mention, and it is a free-to-play method. Let's see if I can actually get it in this video. That would be pretty insane. And no, I got all junk. And this is pretty much what you're gonna get too, is just junk. And now getting into the final method of how a free-to-play player can get a huge pet every single day after trying all your luck with all the mini games and all the other methods that I just told you about. This is gonna be the one method that will guarantee you a huge pet every 24 hours. Like guaranteed, I'm not joking. And that is gonna be, get ready for this. This is gonna sound so crazy. Farming the last area. I know, you guys are probably like, oh, come on. Some of you might be disappointed. A lot of you probably expected this answer, but it's just the truth. farming the last area, no matter if you're free to play or pay to win, will always be the superior method for getting huge pets. Now, unless there's some kind of broken minigame or bug going on, like how the electric cat in the treasure hideout area used to be super easy the first few hours of the update, this will always be my favorite way of getting huges and the most reliable way of getting huges. Now, why is this? Well, if you farm the final area, you're obviously going to get one, access to items that you're going to be able to sell. So if you remember what I said previously about keeping those keys, like the crystal keys or the tech chest keys, you can keep those, bring them over to the trading plaza instead of using them on the chest, and just sell them for around wrap value or slightly more. And also selling all the other items you get from farming the final area, you can make enough money to buy a huge every single day. Since you're free to play, you're not going to have super drops, so the money you make from item farming is going to be way less than a pay to win player. But this is where diamond farming becomes super useful, because no matter if you're free to play or not, diamond farming will be the same for everybody. Now, if you have premium enchant slots and you have the 15 pet equips game pass, you're going to be able to make more diamonds per hour just because you'll be able to have access to more enchants at a single time, and you'll have more pets in your team setup, which will help you make more diamonds. But that's the only difference. Super drops does not affect how much diamonds you get, and there's no other game pass that affects how many diamonds you get. So with a completely free to play setup, from utilizing 6 enchant slots, because that's a max amount that free to play players can use, and from having 84 pet equips, because that's the max amount for free to play players, you can be making upwards of 50+ million diamonds per day just from pure diamonds. That's not even including the items that you get that you can be selling in the final area. So you're looking at a potential 60 million plus diamonds per day from doing literally nothing but leaving your computer on running. Now, if you're someone who can't auto farm a lot, let's say it just destroys your electricity bill, or you just simply can't, like let's say you just disconnect all the time, or you play on Xbox or mobile and maybe it's harder for you to auto farm, then resorting to all the methods that I explained previously will be a lot more beneficial to you. And you could also flip stuff in the trading plaza, which actually that's something I forgot to say. Flipping stuff in the trading plaza is a great method. All you do for that is just buy things from people for a low price, like under wrap value, and then you just take that same item or pet or whatever it is and sell it for slightly above wrap value, which will then give you however much profit based on how much it costs. So I'll give you an example with this. This mosaic lamb right here. Now, I don't think this is the actual stat pet that I got, but I had picked up one today for literally 1 million gems. It was on the auction and I got lucky enough to get it for 1 million, but it was worth about the same amount as this mosaic lamb. So because I got it for 1 million on the auction, I can now go ahead and sell it for say 2.6 million, and now I just made 1.6 million diamonds, or slightly less because there are taxes when you sell stuff on your booth in the trading plaza. And by doing this process repeatedly, you can build up more and more money, which will help eventually give you enough to buy a huge pet. So if you really want to maximize your chances of getting a huge pet every single day, do everything I told you, do all the mini games, do all the free to play methods, open up all your prison keys, sell whatever you can, farm the last area with a diamond farming setup, and you will be able to get one huge pet every 24 hours. And this is not even the limit to what free to play players can do. If you're very advanced and you've been playing this game for a long time and you have tons of huges, like 2 full teams worth, you can go ahead and use another free to play alt account and help farm up money in the final area. So instead of farming 50 million pure diamonds a day from one account, you can now be farming 100 million diamonds per day, and then also selling those items that you get from the final area, and also doing all the obbies and the other free to play methods on that alt account as well. And now we're talking upwards of 2 or more huges a day and not spending any money on the game. Now, this is very hard for most people to achieve, especially if you're free to play. To get a setup like that, it would take you a long time. It's definitely not impossible, but it's for sure not easy, and I don't expect you guys to reach that point. But if you really want to get good at the game, you should look into doing something like that, because you will literally progress twice as fast. Like, that's not even me exaggerating. It's quite literally twice as fast if you have an alt account with the same setup. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for you guys. If you found this video helpful in any way, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Did I miss any free to play methods? I have a feeling that I might have, and if I did, just let me know, because I'm human. I make mistakes just as everybody else does. So feel free to point out any errors that I might have made in this video. But with that being being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.